High, West Virginia, Lafayette, Lafayette Parish, and all those that's listening to us online, and welcome us into you guys' home. Into your eyes, into your heart, into your ears. This morning we planning on have a good show because we're gonna do some things that we don't normally do, and that's teaching you how to grow your own vegetable, how to be self-sufficient. 2025 is coming up, and we having a whole lot of things going on in our state, in our country, and we need to know what's going on. But we always like to start off Community Matters Show with a prayer to ignite our spirit on Friday morning. Good morning, prayer warrior. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing very well. Thank you. I have a message for us this morning. Bear with me 1 second.
Well, come on and ignite our spirit.
Okay. The word says, let me teach you thankfulness. Begin by acknowledging that everything, all your possessions today is a gift for me, not to be taken for granted. The earth is, if you slow down your pace of life, you can find me anywhere. Some of my most precious children have been found laid aside in sick beds or shut away in prisons. Others have voluntarily learned the discipline of spending time alone with me. The secret of being thankful is learning to see everything from my perspective. My world is your classroom. My word is a lamp to your feet and a light on your path. Now, all of that can be found in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 28, 29, Psalms 19, and Psalms 119 to 105.
Thank you for igniting our spirit on this morning. We got kind of cloudy weather here, but it's all good. As long as we keep our mind bright, our soul up to par, we are good. I thank you, love you for all that you do for the Community Matters Show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right. Well, hey, on this morning, like I say, we normally talk the things that's going on in our world around us and politics. But this morning, we're going to talk about how we could stay healthy, how we could grow our own vegetables, how we could cut down on our expense when we go to the produce market, when we turn around and have things that we need to have for as vegetable growth. And vegetable is always a healthy thing that we could do to keep ourselves out of the doctor's office and the hospital. Good morning, Chuck. How's everything going?
Off to a very good start here, I'd say.
Well, I want you to introduce yourself and tell the audience a little about yourself and why you're here. I know why you're here. You know why you're here, but let everybody else know why you're here.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Wallace, for the opportunity just to talk about something that's very dear to my heart, and it is growing our own food.
Food, yes.
I'm a master gardener and work to maintain, start seedlings, and harvest vegetables. It's been 7 years that we've been working that garden. It now has 22 raised beds and about 1,400 square feet of space. We grow vegetables, flowers, and herbs. We now just started some blueberries, so we're getting into the fruit area now too. I wanted to pick up on what you were saying about why start a garden? Why garden when you can go to the store and buy produce? I had a lot faster. The main thing is, for me, the main thing is the taste is so much different. When I can walk from my garden to my kitchen 50 feet, that food is going to taste so much better than after traveling 100 miles, 1,000 miles to get to my home.
Well, not just that. When you go buy produce at the store, you have different chemicals, the bugs, keep different things off their vegetables until they get to market, because it comes to market by the truck. And if you grow your own, you don't have to worry about it coming by the truck. All you got to do is worry about going and get it out your garden.
And you haven't put any pesticide, herbicide, insecticide, anything with CIDE, side on it, on those veggies. Of gardening, before getting into steps to garden. I see a family garden as really a family project, and that could be 3 generations of a family out there working, each with assigned roles in the process of growing, maintaining, harvesting food. And I also see it as a group project.
Mm-hmm.
By that I mean 3, 4, 5 families, startup costs. You've got 5 families. One of the families lives in an apartment, doesn't have space to grow a garden. How can that person arrange for or lease garden space in another family's backyard?
Mm-hmm.
What space?
Right.
Okay? What if a person is disabled but wants to be part of a team, wants to grow vegetables? How can that person? Once again, it comes down to bartering for services,
Mm-hmm.
babysitting services, or I'll prepare a meal, X number of meals over X number of weeks. There's so much to be gained by a family working together, a group of 4 or 5 families working together.
Mm-hmm.
That forms a community.
Yes, good morning, Kate. Good morning, Richard. You got some things here that you brought, and I'm pretty sure that, which is
Understand.
Well,
The group
it's
is a
association with.
he's very. Chuck, the question.
We didn't rehearse this at all, but that's an excellent question. That's an excellent question. You can go down to the Lafayette Parish Government Building. Lafayette Parish Government Building, 1010. You'll enter the LSU Garden Center. Papers of information and a vegetable planning guide.
Mm-hmm.
It will grow past here.
Mm-hmm.
It will grow past here. There's another section that says There's another section that says during these periods. Growing, how to plan what the best variety of. Also go online and buy the Louisiana Home Vegetable Garden. Let me get the. This is about $20, but it does grow vegetables with a little bit of history. It does grow vegetables with a little bit of history on origin, but more information about what to take into account and when to plant. I want to go back to just a little bit about the garden itself and the space that you set up. You need to look around your backyard and find for growing most of the vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have 3 hours of sunlight, you can still grow shade-loving veggies.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're part of a team
there's
now, once
nightshades.
again,
I heard something called nightshades vegetables. Yes, sir.
offhand I don't know those well enough to talk about that. But most of the leafy vegetables, your lettuces, your the garden itself, it needs 6 to 10 hours. But if you don't have that much, greens, mustard greens, families benefit.
Most people like watermelon, and watermelon is very good in nutrition for the body. You know, and if you go truck, and today watermelon is different than what it used to be. So, all right, hey, let us get into it and then today, okay? So give us a minute. Sorry about that, Chuck.
Okay, let's say 4x8 of the just make sure that you can get access to all areas established. To establish that garden, you've mapped out where it's going to go. Just take a fork, a good sturdy fork, fork a bit. Don't take any of the soil out. You're just going to loosen the soil in that 4x8 space. Then add compost. And compost can be purchased. And you want to build up growing material. So you get a load of compost if you'd like, mix that in. So you're up to about 6-8 inches now. Get some newspaper, and in packets of maybe 10 pages each, that's your weed barrier.
Okay.
So that you won't have weeds coming up from, so you block the weeds.
Right. You telling us we have 2 seasons, summer and winter.
That's the beauty of living here. You've got 12 months of growing. Right now at Lark, we're harvesting broccoli, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts soon. I just picked some tomatoes that we had to finish ripening indoors, but they did survive that little cold close to
we
frost
had.
there. But you can also plant. There's a variety of onion. It's called 1015Y. Winter them and pick them in March.
Right.
With that long a maturity, you can start picking them in January, February, March. You have almost 12 months then.
Yeah. So in other words, onion grow year round.
Yeah.
You know, and onion getting ready to be expensive, man. You know, in the stove, to be more expensive now, and I can't understand why it's getting to be more expensive, and then I can. And the experience I can with when I was driving, you could transport times, you know, and my son and I got together. I said, man, I don't want to transport strawberry no more because it's gone. If it's not at the right temperature, you're responsible for it. So it's a headache driving strawberries from one produce.
I have a question. What would you suggest to say a person who's technically a greenhorn who want to get a green thumb like yourself and start growing vegetable self-help books or consult with somebody locally? If somebody wants to just start,
find some knowledgeable person who's had experience and work with them, whether you're part of it. There are courses, FOR Good. It's a Phil Nauta, Nauta, has a pre-course.
you just Google YouTube.
Yeah.
That's an excellent source. And there are varying levels too, from starting up with the first garden for beginners to experience benefit my.
In this area, are bell peppers, again, bell peppers is one of my favorites. Most of the time you go in the store, you're purchasing onions and bell peppers. We in our community, some of us, onions and bell pepper. Are bell peppers hard to grow in this area? Or are they easy?
And the good thing about bell peppers, they will have a long harvest period. So there's one website called Pepper Joe, a number of pepper variety.
And you could plant the seeds right out of a bell pepper, not just a bell pepper. What else? you're not really out. You know, you could buy a little trade like this here.
Would that be sufficing your home? Because you know, congested areas, urban areas, or they renting, or they dwellers, they do things like that in larger cities. So, what would you suggest also for starting off with those type of projects?
With point about saving seeds, pollinated, or is it a hybrid?
Now you done got me.
If
You
it's
done got me here, Chuck.
Tomato seed and plant it, you're going to get
Something
one of two different
seedless watermelon.
seeds.
That's a hybrid.
I never understood watermelon, how they get seeded. Where do you get?
So I go and purchase a seed. What they call that? Because it's made up. You know what I'm saying? I'm
That's what.
seed.
And that's a great cost saver too. But you
Okay.
or open pollinated will be the same plant that when you got the seeds from.
Okay.
Whereas the hybrid, you could get two different varieties.
It's good for your heart. You know, high blood pressure. One of them that I know, garlic is good for, and garlic is easy to grow too. You know, you could buy garlic.
I never seen anybody grow garlic in my
Well, I see the wood and the water. You know, my daddy raised grew his a lot of. He grew all of that, and he went fishing during fishing season. So he would always stack the freezer with fish, and we ate fish. We had chickens in the backyard, you know, which we had to come up and clean all the chicken mess that they made. The guy next door used to grow tomato, and it would be right by the fence. We had some small hens. We'd go to the fence, devil out of them, you know. And what tomato have that's good for your body, Brother Jay or Chuck?
Vitamins. I know
Vitamins, yeah.
Yeah. It's a good vitamin source.
Yeah, vitamin C especially.
Well, anything and cook it right, you know. So, plan to us how to really get this going.
Alrighty. First of all, you're going to need some seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the time of year when seed catalogs are all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
You can go online and look for a copy, or you can go online to the company itself and order seeds from the catalog.
Well, I remember when I was young, I used to have seeds sent to me by mail every week or something like that. Back in the day, before the internet was.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm pretty old, and that I don't know how many young people experience that. So that got me into growing things or thinking about growing when I could not grow. You know, you have different stages in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm glad you did this show today. That reminded me of.
They got genetic stuff out there.
Yeah.
Now, go on, Brother Paul. How you say that?
That's genetic. You got food in the grocery store is marked genetic, but people don't not aware. And it's marked Monsanto. The Monsanto kill the red roaches. They also produce a food, pre-cooked food, Monsanto.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't not paying attention. They need to be very careful to read what the labels on there with giving you food. They got certain numbers, I think, on genetic, and some of them little pesticide on and some regulations on stuff like that. On food and the
Generic food, our own generic food that we don't have to question in our garden. Right, Chuck?
Right. And back to seeds. I didn't mention about you can get the main library.
Great show like every Friday. Robert to your guest and Brother Jay. All right. How do you get to the young this garden itself? Because but in the school at one time they had 4-H's. The school time they had 4-H's. I don't know which you saying is a, and the price is going up. And you could grow some. You don't have to have a big garden of peppers and radishes. And it wasn't a big garden. It was just some along the house. Takes his scissors and cut the onion top, the onions, and that was all right. You know, fresh stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe you might have an idea how to get these young people to say, a young lady today got it made where she would clean it, cut it, and either go buy a whole chicken, whatever part you want in the chicken from the already cooked. So it's a lot of things that people don't want to do no more. Explain on their own vegetables as they get older.
Well,
You know?
I
Appreciate the call,
Thank you.
Carl.
Master Gardeners, where I think it's maybe around 10 or 11 public elementary schools that are responsible for growing what's there. They even have cooking contests that the kids make up recipes for. So there's an emphasis in elementary schools, and to address the caller's other point, more and more families are aware of not just a garden, but chickens. Not just chickens, but also and kind of a cleanup area where you're just growing cover crops to build the soil. So healthy ideas that are catching on and starting people growing. I would just like to see more of it. And the point about starting small, I think, is another. How much space is this plant going to take up? 32 green onions in a space that might take up one huge. Use the garden. I want to emphasize this point. Use the garden as a community also, and it's those microbes in the soil. It's not to prevent problems among different. This is just my opinion. If you plant so many different crops in a 4x8, doing that, your basil, dill, mixed in with
And a 4x8 is a sheet of plywood, wide and long as a sheet of plywood, you know.
that you will not make mistakes in that first year of gardening. But you know, what did I learn this year? What did I learn this week about what time to water? Was it behind a larger plant that shaded it? So you're learning all that time, and now I want to expand my 4x8 to a 4x12 next year.
Yeah, and if you get any kind of pest on your garden or anything like this here, all you gotta do is mix water and baking soda, and it keeps.
Yes, those homemade recipes for insect control or fungus control.
And that I was reading this, and you go to the market, you go to the produce, everybody's vegetable home, and put them in the sink, and take baking soda, sprinkle it all over. It'll kill a lot of the germs that you're getting on your vegetables out of the store. And when I read that, I said, wow, I wasn't doing that. And they tested me for a slight case of E. coli, you know. And when I start digging into what E. coli was, and you got to learn these things in order. I'm one, but I am getting ready to get into it. I was kind of like, I guess I had a case of the blob. You know, I didn't want to do anything. Go on Facebook and look for the crap that's going on in the community. I go on online looking for things to make my health better than what
health and also mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for people who are one of the hardest things to do because it means getting up, but it's one of the best things. This plot of land and grown something from it that you enjoy, not just fast food and I want it. And let me get to this because if we have time here.
Yeah, because time is running short.
When you've got the packets and seed trays, and here once again is a way to share expenses that you're splitting the cost there. Fill these, and when I say you can go out in the trash there and pick out the ones that you want. We just threw some in there. And use them.
Right.
They're perfectly fine. You can reuse them every seed starting mix. Okay, wet that, holes in it, because you can water the seedlings in here from the bottom. What you need is a grow light. And I want to take time to emphasize what to look for in a grow light because putting them in the south-facing window in the sun just isn't going to give you enough. Here's a suggestion about grow lights. I'd suggest a 4-foot-long shop light with an extension cord. And that's I'll call it the frame with 2 LED.
Okay.
Daylight.
Right.
Okay. And your seedlings go under these. As they grow, you'll be adding more bricks to raise the 6,500. Kelvin,
Measure.
which is the bright.
What about one of those shower heater light? You know, they red. Some of them come white. You know.
And the other thing about what different colors do for different seeds.
Right.
They're available.
All right.
Until I learn more of that. You'll get 2 leaves start off with the seedling. There'll be leaves that have used the energy in the seed to grow. The next leaves you'll see will be a different shape. They're more like the plant itself. When you see that goes back in here. Once again, raising the grow light so it's 1 or 2 inches above the seedling.
Yeah, because the light pulls the plants up.
And you don't want to burn the leaves, so keep it about 1 or 2 inches above. 6 weeks, 8 weeks before the last frost. Okay, so last frost here, I use February 26th as the last frost, and that's with a 30% chance of it occurring later. Okay, if you want to be, just count 6 to 8, forming your team, getting grow lights over. I don't, August, there's no rush on it, it has to be right now.
What about spinach?
More go with the fall. I'm gonna see if I can find something in early and late. But that's what a lot of the leafy vegetables.
And also, and I know it's closing, mustard green is another big crop down here. People grow.
My grandmother
The
used to
community,
grow that.
all our community, that's all.
Yeah.
Definitely.
My grandmother used to grow a lot of mustard green and things like this here. And I don't know, when I was coming up, the older generation was growing their own vegetables. They shared different vegetables. And life was simple back then. But see, and then after you get in, you got to stand in long lines to get your groceries out of the store. So it would be a whole lot easier, you know, to me, to have your own vegetable where you could go to automatic checkout and none of this, you know. But Chuck, look, our time is running down. You know, we have about a minute left. I hope the I know I appreciate it, and anybody else, Brother Jay, appreciate it because he always talking about organic food and how to have you back on when at a different time, you know, more like around March. For the summertime and things like that. Share your knowledge, you know, of what we have to do to stay at the doctor's office, stay out of you don't have to worry about going to the doctor, hospital, or anything like this here because you're putting good stuff in your body. You know?
Exactly. It's healthy and it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's satisfying. You've accomplished something.
Chuck, you got a website or anything like this here if somebody wanted to get in contact with you to find out more about what's going on?
Well, we folks from the 20th century didn't have all the convenience. So, no, I don't.
Okay.
If we
But
just
that-
contact Brother Wallace.
Well, yeah, contact me, a meeting or something like this here. That a group of people, you can come and talk to them and have everything right there for them to show them.
That
So-
sounds great.
I want to thank everyone. Till next Friday, Brother Paul. He's gone again. Caught him lucky, but he's gone again. So I'm gonna holler back at him. Y'all come back now.